Hello Leo, welcome back to my channel. This is Skeleton Key Tarot and this is a tarot card reading for Leo. All Leo placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Wherever you've got Leo in your chart or in your life, there's something in this message for you. And as always, cross watchers are welcome here too. So let's begin. Messages for Leo, please. Okay, what does Leo need to know? Some type of state of confusion, illusion, delusion, some type of shadow work, mixed feelings, mixed messages, confusion of the heart, the emotions, different options and not knowing what you want. Somebody doesn't know what they want. This is going to change. This here, it's like negative feelings, resentment, contempt, disgust, something that has not only stagnant, but it's not only stagnant, but it's putrefied. There is a serious emotional discomfort or distaste for whatever this is. A lot of Scorpio energy. I've got 3 cards of Scorpio. King of Cups could also be Pisces or Cancer. There is an inevitable change happening here with the Death card. This is a signal that what once was is no longer, nor will it ever be again. Something is being dissolved, and it's like, okay, so the caterpillar, right, goes into the cocoon, it becomes liquefied. It dissolves, it becomes mush, it's gross, and that's what this is. You're in that stage where the caterpillar no longer exists, but the butterfly has yet to emerge, and it's gross, like it's very uncomfortable, and there's something like, something smells, okay, there's this stink of putrefaction, it stinks. There's like the smell of the ocean at low tide, and it's that like primordial soup, and that is it's necessary. It's a necessary part of life and evolution, and we can okay, there are a lot of complicated relationships that we can have with this shadow side of ourselves. We can deny, we can accuse or abuse, we can ignore it. It's like something here about a psychic wound or an emotional wound that is festering. And yeah, Seven of Cups gives all of that, like infection, festering, especially with the Death card. Let's get a little bit more here. What's the Magician doing here? Hanged Man? Ooh. Okay. Excuse me. So, the Magician, the Hanged Man, the Judgment, the Two of Swords, the Eight of Swords. It's a lot. It's, okay, so the Magician here is talking about somebody has been doing some kind of magic, manifestation, spell work, in order to bring about the end of a stuck or stagnant situation. Beyond stagnant, in my opinion, as I'm feeling the energy of this reading, it is like this butterfly wants to come out of the cocoon so bad, but it's not ready yet, but it's about to be. It's about to emerge with the Judgment. It's like you can see these people that are emerging from their coffins on Judgment Day, rising up from the dead, right? Is the caterpillar dead? Sure, we could say that. It no longer exists. It's been fundamentally transformed. But it's not really dead. It's just going through a process of transformation, but it's unrecognizable as anything. If you were to like if you were to crack open the cocoon and open it up inside, it would be like disgusting. It would just be mush, you know, it would be slime, right? Like if you open it up, could you even, I mean, I guess it depends on what stage of the process you were to crack open the cocoon, but if you were to interrupt that alchemy, right? If you were to interrupt that magic process at some point, at any point really, before it's ready, between when the caterpillar goes in and when the butterfly emerges, you open it up when it's not ready, and you're going to see that it's gross. It's basically like discombobulated, slimy, ugly, gross, unhealed, right? It's not ready to be opened up. Okay. But what am I seeing here? It's like, it's not that nothing's happening, right? So this is transforming into, I'm getting somebody who's going from this chaotic, confused, putrefaction, you know, stinky, slimy, ugly, gross transformation process, right? And emerging this King of Cups, this is like, I'm getting like self-knowledge, self-actualizing, reconstituted. So the King of Cups is very emotionally intelligent. He's got a lot of compassion and sympathy, very empathetic, masculine, water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I've got especially Scorpio here. And he's very knowledgeable of human nature. He understands human nature very well, the dark and the light of emotions. And I'm getting somebody who's emotionally confused, mixed feelings, finally kind of figuring out how they really feel about something. This person is very reliable and trustworthy. He makes a good confidant or counselor, good at keeping secrets or keeping you know, keeping your private life. There's something about privacy, respecting privacy, emotionally very balanced. So it's like somebody that goes from being emotionally confused and all over the place, emotionally on some kind of a roller coaster, you know, with the Seven of Cups. And this transformation helps them to balance that out and to ride those waves in a much more mature, balanced kind of way. Right? Balancing out in a more harmonious way. You know, I think I'm kind of repeating myself a little bit, but you get the point I'm trying to make. It's like growing up and coming into their own, being a very stable, understanding, very loving, very compassionate person. This is also about psychic abilities, psychic intuition, and mystical teachings. He's somebody that is very spiritual, and especially with like the magician being here as well, I feel like this is somebody who studies, practices, and deeply feels and understands spirituality, occult teachings, magic, spell work, that sort of thing. So there's some kind of a magic process here that's been underway. And it looks like nothing's happening. It looks like somebody is, look at that, the cocoon, the hanged man hanging down like a cocoon or a chrysalis. You know, like the butterfly's chrysalis or cocoon hanging down from the branch. That's what it looks like. And it seems to the outsider, it doesn't look like very much is happening. It looks like they're not doing anything. It looks like, in fact, it looks like they've destroyed and ruined themselves, really. If you didn't know what was going on, like, what would you really think of finding somebody going through this, finding the caterpillar going through this transformation process? You're like, what did you do to yourself? Why are you doing this? Why did you close yourself off in this little pod and basically digest yourself and dissolve yourself? Like, what are you doing? Your caterpillar body was perfectly fine. Your caterpillar body had beautiful little legs and nice patterns on your back, and there was nothing wrong with your caterpillar body. Why did you destroy your caterpillar body? Why did you close yourself off and isolate yourself and shut yourself in this cocoon and allow yourself to turn to mush? And it's gross. What are you doing? Like, this is so repulsive. What you're doing right now is it may even look very unhealthy or alarming to some people to see you go through this transformation process. If they could see what was happening on the inside, they would be alarmed if they didn't know. Because you can't really see the different parts and pieces. Everything just seems to have putrefied, right? And it would be disgusting. Somebody might open it up, trying to force you to open up, and they would see this disgusting process that's going on, and they'd be repelled or repulsed by it, and they would not understand, although the King of Cups does understand what's going on. The King of Cups deeply understands the shadow work transformation process of dealing with healing these psychic wounds or even physical wounds. And so, somebody might not really understand what you're going through right now. But then somebody else would have a very deep understanding, and I feel like you are going to have a very deep understanding of spirituality and shadow work and transformation process and all of the ugly intermediary steps, right? Intermediate steps going from caterpillar to beautiful butterfly. But if they just leave you alone, let you do your thing, let you go through the motions, allow you to go through the natural process, allow yourself to go through this. Give yourself up to it, surrender to it. This is in your nature. Imagine if the caterpillar refused to make the chrysalis. Imagine if the caterpillar was afraid to surrender to the transformation. I'm sure maybe it is scary. Maybe it is. Maybe it's ugly and scary and it's uncomfortable but it's also, you can't stop it. You cannot stop it. Especially once you get going, there's no turning back. Once you put yourself in that chrysalis, once you do that magic spell, once you do that ritual spell work, once you cast it, once the spell is cast, you cannot take it back. So be responsible and careful with what you're doing. But I see eventually, it just looks like there is this magic transformation happening here. The ball is already rolling. You've already passed the point of no return. You've already turned to mush in the chrysalis or whatever. And then we come to this point of judgment where you have this higher calling. You are called to be a butterfly, and you are overlooked by this angel, this angelic thing that's coming. I keep saying the word process, and I don't want to just keep saying it, but I feel like that's what we're looking at here. And eventually you must surrender. You've got to let go with the flow, allow this to take you where it's going, and you will come out on the other side a higher being, an ascended consciousness, with a deeper understanding, a much deeper understanding. The King of Cups is depth of understanding. Okay. So with the Two of Swords here, it's almost like you're being told to ignore outside influences in order to come to your own conclusions, to make your own decisions, to do what you already know in balance and in harmony for your own peace of mind. Because the caterpillar, if they refuse to go into the cocoon, if they are interrupted in that transformation, they will never live up to their full potential here. And there is a higher calling. There's a higher potential. There's something else to do. Something you are called to do. Manifesting the end of a stuck or stagnant situation because you feel called to do something else. Because you have this higher perspective. You will see. There's something else here. There's something about shadow work, okay? What is shadow work? Shadow work is medicine. It is healing. It is therapy. It is recovery. Shadow work is not a punishment. Shadow work is not meant to be a weapon that we use against ourselves to criticize ourselves for being imperfect. It is a method for analyzing, recognizing, and taking care of some kind of an injury. Spiritual injury, psychic, emotional injury. It's a therapy. It's not meant to be punitive. It's meant to be restorative. It's not meant to be a punishment or a prison. It's meant to be like a rehabilitation. So that it's like, I'm trying to remember this word. There's a word that wants to come to mind. It's like, what is the reason for, okay, why do we send people to jail? Why do we send people to prison? Traditionally, I think it's been to punish them, to remove them from society, to punish them, and just isolate them, exclude them, and it does more harm, and we feel like they deserve to be punished. They deserve to have that harm done to them because they have done harm to society and they are at a debt to society or whatever. And we want the harm that we do to them, the punishment that we give to them, to be proportionate to the debt that they owe, so to speak, to society. But then, are they ever going to come back out of that jail cell? This is like the chrysalis. We're putting them in there. We are doing something with that criminal. And then are they eventually going to emerge? And when they come out of that cell, that chrysalis, that cocoon, that cell that we put them in, what kind of butterfly are we going to have? What kind of an animal are we going to have? What kind of an insect? Well, you know what I mean? What kind of person comes out the other side of that? And so people think, okay, well, maybe we should be using this not as a form of punishment, but as a form of like rehabilitation so that we can bring them out and they'll be better off afterwards. But there's a specific word, and I know I'm going to remember it like as soon as I'm done recording. And you're probably saying it to me right now, so put it in the comments if you know the word. Like recovery, rehab. Maybe that's all I'm looking at. So anyway, yeah, maybe that's the word I'm looking for. It's like, this is not meant to be a punishment. It is meant to be a rehabilitation. I want to get into what shadow work means because I really want to drive the point home that if you have an injury, with the Seven of Cups, lately I've been getting like the image of some kind of infection. It's gross, right? It's ugly. It might smell bad. It looks terrible. And imagine if we treated our psychic wounds the way that we treat our physical wounds, right? This is not an unfamiliar concept to people who go to therapy or who, study modern psychology or something. This person, this King of Cups, is a wise counselor. He's an understanding. He's a healer. Yeah, he knows that he already knows what I'm saying. So there's a decision here about the future here, looking forward to something, waiting for something. And there's this attitude of not compromising. But what am I trying to say? So it's like, just imagine let's put it a different way. What if you were to treat your physical injuries the way that we traditionally have treated psychological injuries, by ignoring them, shaming them, stuff like that? Like, if you have a cut on your arm and it's bleeding and it's infected and it's turning green and it's gross, you don't just like ignore it and say, oh, well, that's unacceptable, so we're just going to shut that away. We're going to cover it up so that nobody can see it. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? You get some bacitracin and you clean it out, and you get some neosporin and you put some ointment on it, and you take good care of it. You take loving care of this injury, and you know that the infection is temporary and the injury is temporary, and that it deserves love and care. And if you if you love and care about it, then it will clear up and it'll get better and you'll feel better. It'll look better. Like, we don't blame you. We don't shame you or blame you or inflict further damage, just because, like, it's not your fault. You got an injury. It's not your fault you are able to be injured. You are immortal. You are a physical being and a planet that is dangerous. And yeah, sometimes you get injured. Like, it's okay. It's okay to be injured or to be flawed. It's not your fault. But there's a responsibility to take good care of it, to clean it out, to put medicine on it, to give it what it needs in order to heal. And so the infection is just a signal that you need something to heal. You need medicine, you need care, you need love. So the psychological or the spiritual injury is a signal that you need care and you need love. And you need to heal. It needs attention. It's trying to get your attention so that you can take care of it, so that one day it will be healed and you'll be okay and you'll be balanced and you'll be whole. So there's like a psychological or spiritual injury here that's maybe infected, and it's part of this transformation process as well. It looks bad, but it's actually an important part of your transformation. It's uncomfortable, it's ugly, it's maybe chaotic, but it's part of the transformation process. It's necessary, it's inevitable, and you must follow through with it once the ball gets rolling. You can't just stop in the middle of it. There's no going back. And so one day you may have a scar, right, in the future after your wound has healed. So the scar, I'm reminded of something I heard once. What is it? Something I want to leave you with. The scars show us that we survived, and they also show that we have healed. Yeah, so the scars are proof that we've been injured, proof that we have survived, and evidence that we are also healed, right? That makes sense. That's nice. I like that. The scars show that we survived and that we healed. One day this may be a scar. Does a butterfly carry the scar of the caterpillar? I don't know. Maybe that's as far as this analogy can really take us. I think right now you're in the middle of it. You're in the middle of your transformation and it's uncomfortable, but there's no going back. And right, so there's the Three of Wands. So this is about going forward. You don't see it. You feel stuck. Wow. Right now, yeah, there's that Eight of Swords. There's really nothing you have to do, per se. You've already done it. There's a need to allow things to play out the way that they're going to. Let nature take its course. Yeah, it's like there's nothing the caterpillar really has to do once you enter into the chrysalis. You've already done the work. Now just let the process take over. Let nature run its course. Let things play out the way that they're going to. Let the universe respond. And then look at this, Three of Wands to the Ten of Cups. You're looking forward to this happy ending, emerging on the other side of this difficult moment in a much better way. But yeah, there's a lot of internal conflict here. A lot of the Five of Swords. There's maybe even some kind of emotional manipulation going on. Yeah, it's true. But there's this Ace of Cups. Look at this. Somebody's conflicted about this Empress, Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, this new love, this lover. Yeah. Somebody maybe has this like conflict between wanting to be alone and yet wanting to be loved and to have this new beginning and to have this happiness in the future. You don't see yet just how successful this is going to be, but you do have some kind of new love or new opportunity underneath the surface in the future here. Maybe being alone is what you need right now. Maybe being alone is what you need in the future. Withdrawing into yourself in order to get your own clarity, to find your own fountain of youth. Okay. To find the source of love within yourself. Interesting. I feel like that may be for another reading. I feel like I want to just leave it here for now. This is what we've got. I'll put it like this. This is what I've got for you today, Leo. I'm just going to leave it there. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was of service to you. Yeah. There's nothing you really have to actively do right now, I would say. It's going to happen for you. It's going to happen to you or for you. It's a little beyond your control at this point because you already set the ball in motion. So I would say you're going to have a really good outcome here. You're waiting for the Ten of Cups. You're looking forward to the Ten of Cups. This is what's coming in for you. The plan is already set in motion, but it's not set in stone, okay? Interesting. There's still, some of it is still being worked out, like the details. So you may feel stuck or trapped here in this. Like I said, this is a very uncomfortable place to be. You may even feel victimized, or it's like it's out of your hands, because it is. It's not in your control anymore. Once you know, it's like once you hit that button and start the process, once you, yeah. There's a lack of clarity. Let's look at this. Both of these cards have the blindfold on. So you don't see how this is going to turn out. I wonder, does the caterpillar know that they're going to turn into a butterfly? Or are they just following their instincts? Do they know what's going to happen to them when they make a chrysalis or a cocoon around themselves? Or do they just feel guided to do that? Do they just feel like an impulse or an instinct? They're like, oh, I'm tired. I'm done. I want to make a cocoon. I want to go into my chrysalis. Do they just feel like withdrawing? Do they just feel like they don't want to do anything? They don't want to see anybody. They don't want to be with anybody. They just want to go in their cocoon. They've had enough. They're done. Not hungry. Not thirsty. Just tired. Like, how does the caterpillar know what time it is, right? Do they know what's going to happen, or do they just feel... And then once they go into that cocoon, do they know what is happening to them? Are they aware that they are going to come out the other side a caterpillar? Or are they just like, are they frightened? Are they dreaming? Does the caterpillar dream? Interesting. It's like maybe you feel like you need to withdraw and to focus on yourself. And you don't even really know why exactly, but you're going to listen to that and you're going to go in your own direction. And then you're going through this transformation process and you will come out the other side, but you don't know what's going to happen on the other side. You don't see that you're going to be a butterfly. You don't see that you're going to have wings and you're going to have a higher perspective. Caterpillar has a ground level perspective, and then the butterfly has a much higher perspective, right? You don't see that. You can't. How could you know? You don't know what it's like to be a caterpillar, even if you know that someday you're going to have wings. You don't know what that's going to be like. So there may be a lot of fear around that. You don't know. You don't see the other side. You don't see the results of the alchemy until after you've actually done it. So you have to just kind of trust. And you have to let go and release. You have to let go of control. You have to release yourself from that and allow it to take over, and then just allow this to reveal itself to you as it goes along, as it should, as it will. You have to trust that this is for the best, and maybe that's hard to do because there's a definite feeling of like trapped, stuck, not trusting. And yet there is this vision of the future. So, yeah, maybe that's where the mixed feelings are coming in. Maybe there's a big decision that's to be made. All right. Anything else? Because I felt like it was done. Are we done? Right. So beyond this conflict, Page of Cups, Ace of Cups, the Empress, like the new thing on the other side is love and Ace of Pentacles. Like there's this new, there's the stars, like that's your hope for the future, the higher status, hope for the future, optimism, etc. Being open to it, opening up, allowing yourself to be this open channel. There's cord cutting, there's cleansing rituals that you could do. But I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I think I've already gotten into cord cutting and cleansing rituals in past readings for you. This has been a general reading. We can do a personal and get personal details. But it's just, I think you get what I'm trying to say. On the other side of this uncomfortable transformation process is a new beginning that is the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, and it's really good, it's really positive, there's a happy ending, there's a good outcome, a higher perspective, it's something to look forward to, there is hope for the future here. But right now you might not be seeing it, and this reading is here to encourage you to have faith and confidence in yourself, to be bold and uncompromising in your decision that you've made for your own peace of mind, because you feel called to. You must. Like the caterpillar feels called to make the chrysalis, because there is a higher calling, something new, becoming something new, transforming into something new and beautiful on the other side. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave it today, Leo. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was of service to you. If you enjoyed this and you'd like a personal reading, my email's in the description box below. You can email me. I'll let you know how it works. You let me know what you need. But in any case, I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye.